hello, Mrs. Waters.
Hello, Beaky.
Oh, hello, Flo.
Where have you been? We haven't seen you for
I've
ages.
been poorly.
Oh dear, that's not
I
good.
know. I had bird flu. It wasn't very nice.
We haven't
I
done a
won't tell you
diary.
what's changed because it's 2 weeks since we did our nature diary.
2 weeks.
So we're a bit behind, aren't we?
We are, and loads of
Better
things.
get started then.
We better had. Come on in. Right, now then, as you're here, we might as well start in the greenhouse, hadn't we? Let's have a quick look at the tomatoes, because they are really growing. Can you see there, Beaky? All those little tomatoes appearing? It's now time for me to start feeding them. If you give them a special feed, they will grow even bigger before they ripen.
Oh, look up there! Look at the sweet corn! That's growing really well, isn't it?
Look, we've got some of the proper sweet corn, the big sweet corn, and then we've got some of the miniature sweet corn there. They all need to be outside now because it's getting very hot in here.
Is there anything else new in here?
Well, there's the garlic. Look up there. We've pulled the garlic. We've dug it up. And that's what it looks like, and it's been left to dry out. Okay.
Why do you have to do it?
Put it down, Beaky, and then I can tell what you're saying.
Why do you have to dry it?
Well, that way it lasts longer. It dries out, and then you can save it in a net and use it in your cooking. And I don't know if you can see through the glass, but behind the greenhouse we've got the sprout pods, and we're going to just leave those to go brown. Let's get out into that kitchen garden and see what else there is.
Okay. Oh, look at the potatoes, Mrs. Waters. Hang on, Flo.
Flo, shush. Okay, I'll throw it for you. There you go.
They've come through again because you covered them with soil, didn't you?
Potatoes are growing under the ground because remember, they are a tuber. We eat the tuber from the potato plant, not the stem and not the root and not the leaf.
Right. I like potatoes.
Oh, Beaky, we have this every time. You like everything.
I know.
It's quite good for the birds, isn't it? Because the strawberries are ready first, then the raspberries will be ready, and then the blackberries.
That means I'll have food to eat all summer. Anything else in here?
Let's go and see what's happened to the courgette.
Right. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, there's a little courgette already.
There's quite a few, Beaky. Pull the leaves back. Let's have a look. There, look, everywhere where there's been a flower, there'll be a fruit.
The marrow plants look exactly the same, don't they?
Well, a marrow is just a very large courgette. I think if we ate the marrows when they were small, they'd taste like the courgettes, and if we left the courgettes to grow big, they'll probably taste like the marrows.
Do I like marrow?
Oh, Beaky, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see, won't we?
Righto.
The main garden.
Oh, good. Yes. Has the clematis still got those huge flowers on it?
I don't know. We'll have to go and have a look.
Wow, look at the pansies. Aren't they pretty?
They are, and they're doing really nicely because I'm feeding them.
Why do you have to feed them?
Well, they're only in a small pot, so they'll use up the goodness in that soil quite quickly. So every week I have to give them some feed.
A bit like the tomatoes then?
Yes, just like the tomatoes.
Those are pretty flowers. What are they?
They're fuchsias, and they should get bigger and bigger all over the summer.
I like them.
So do I.
Are your favourite flowers out yet?
They are. Let's go see them.
Oh, Mrs. Waters, they're gorgeous, aren't they?
Yes, Beaky, can you see why they're my favourite? They're all beautiful bluey purple with lots of little darker veins in them. I absolutely love that plant.
What other flowers are there growing at the moment? Can we see?
Look at this one, Beaky. This is absolutely beautiful. This is called a double rose. And that's because seems to have extra petals in it. It's gorgeous, isn't it? There's some red ones behind. Here. They're not quite as big. Doesn't look quite as healthy, that one, but it's got lots of little buds on, and oh dear. I don't know if you can see in there. On that bud there's something called aphids.
Don't the ladybirds eat the aphids?
They do, so hopefully those ones that were hibernating will be over here soon to eat those for us. And then the one that didn't have any buds on last time we looked 2 weeks ago has now got lots of buds. But don't know what colour it's going to be yet because none of them are open. And then the one behind, we've got 4 rose bushes in this plot. This is the orangey red ones. And there's loads of aphids on there. You can actually see them moving. Let me see if I can put it nearer to the camera. Can you see those little creatures on there? Those little green things. Those are aphids. Green fly.
This is a very pretty bush, isn't it?
It's gorgeous. Last year it didn't have many flowers on it, but this year it's got loads. Maybe because when I first came to this house, I over-pruned it.
What does that mean?
Well, I cut it back maybe a bit too much, but it's recovered, and now it's got these lovely white flowers. And there's another one in the flower bed, but that hasn't opened yet. You can just see it behind us.
Why hasn't that one opened?
Well, that's because it's more in the shade. And if you remember, the flowers need the sunshine, don't they? So this one's a little bit further behind. And it does have the buds. I can see them. There, look. There are some buds. They're not open yet, although on this side of the bush, they are.
Can we see the standard rose?
Yes, let's go there next.
Wow, look at those. Aren't they gorgeous?
Yes, and the climbing rose has got the same colour.
Why is it called a standard rose?
Because it only has one stem. It's been made to look like a tree. You can see the stem there next to the wooden post. And behind it, the climbing rose is called a climbing rose because it climbs up the wall. Can you see that one? Yeah?
Oh, I can see the clematis, but most of the flowers have gone.
They have.
That's a shame, isn't it? Will we get some more?
Do you know, Beaky, I can't remember whether we get some more. We'll just have to watch that bush through the summer season and see if we get some more flowers.
And these little white ones are pretty, aren't they? I like these.
They are. They're starting to trail. And that's because they're being fed, so they're filling out. We're getting more flowers and some of the pansies that we grew from last year's seeds.
Gosh, it's a lovely time of year, isn't it?
It is, Beaky. I love my garden.
I love your garden too.
That's nice of you to say.
Apples
Everywhere in the orchard. They've grown a lot in just 2 weeks, haven't they? And there are hundreds of them. And let's just have a quick look down here, because look who's in the paddock with us. Poppy and Blondie.
Oh, they're wearing very funny coats, aren't they?
That's to keep the flies off.
Why do we need to keep the flies off?
Because the flies make them itch and tickle and scratch, and then they make themselves sore. There's somebody else out as well. We're just going to have a quick look at them.
Right, okay, and then it must be time to go because I've got to get back to my chicks.
Don't know if you can see them there, Beaky, but the piggies are out, the guinea pigs.
Hello, piggies. What do they like to eat?
Well, they like cabbages and cauliflower leaves and dandelions.
Nothing that I like, then?
No, you're not sharing food with the guinea pigs. They're like the horses. They like grass.
Okay. Well, it's time to go, isn't it, Mrs. Waters? Oh, have you got changed?
I have. Yes, because I've got to rush out as well. Okay, so it's time to say bye. So say bye and we'll see you all next time.
Bye, everybody. Take care. Enjoy the sunshine. Hope you don't get bird flu.
I don't think they will, Beaky. Right, bye everyone.